Welcome to Mock Draft Monday. The Super Bowl just wrapped up. Congratulations, Rams, Joe Breezy, and the Who Dey Nation. I'm sure you'll be back for another one. But the first round draft order, it's cemented. Yes, compensatory picks, those have yet to be made. But the first round, it is what it is. So I'm here to give you a mock draft. And I love to play with the different possibilities teams could go with. So this one is really testing that. I try to keep these picks within the realm of possibility, the realm of realism, and these are probably some of the more hotter takes. This isn't necessarily what I would do, but things that I think could happen and exploring different ideas. But with that being said, what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I got those positional rankings coming out. We did quarterbacks. You go check that out. We're gonna have more going out this week. But let's go ahead. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Ikem Ekwonu. Oh my gosh, Broshmo, you just picked Ikem Ekwonu. Yes, I tend to prefer Evan Neal, but we've seen other mock drafts play with the idea what happens if Ikem Ekwonu goes first off overall, and I kind of wanted to play with that idea. I do think the Jags going in a direction, hey, let's protect our investment in Trevor Lawrence. Makes a lot of sense. So maybe it's not Evan Neal. Maybe, just like Dane Brugler said, hey, maybe the NFL's higher on Ikem Ekwonu. Now, this is really playing with the idea of what could go down in the draft. With the Lions pick, I went with Kyle Hamilton. And I don't think this pick gets, if the Lions are picking Kyle Hamilton, I think it's they traded down. I don't know with who, but let's say they really love Kyle Hamilton. They do have a need at one of the safety spots. Kyle Hamilton is a top 5 prospect. I know safety to value position, but we're going to play with the idea that, okay, what if Ikem is first? And what if the Lions really love Kyle Hamilton and they go with him? Because now, for a lot of people, I know me included, Evan Neal, Aiden Hutchinson, and KT Kayvon Thibodeau, my top 3 prospects are available starting at 3. So things get a little wild, I think, from here. So let's go ahead, get into the Houston Texans pick. And I went with Evan Neal. I really was considering Aiden Hutchinson here, but I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's kind of build that offensive line for the future, whether that's Davis Mills or a quarterback yet to be named. So I went with Evan Neal, man. There was trade rumors at the trade deadline about Laramie Tunsil. So maybe they are looking for a new left tackle, right tackle. It depends if they put Tyus Howard back at left tackle, though they moved him back to guard. So don't know what the issue is with that. But regardless, we went Evan Neal, which means the New York Jets are going Aiden Hutchinson. You best believe it. I bet you Joe Douglas, he is frothing at the mouth. Like, Aiden Hutchinson at 4? Yes, please, sign me up. I will take that. So, yeah, they get him here, man. That it's great value. It's great value. I think it's a great pick. Which means, what will the Giants do? Because now you're in a predicament where, okay, if we don't go tackle here, maybe the Panthers go tackle with their next pick. But would they really pass, like, on KT? Can we get a tackle and then go KT? Like, I don't know. You're really rolling the dice. What if a team trades up to 6 because KT's available there now? Because you know the Panthers would love to trade out of that spot. By the way, not doing trades in this mock. But we went ahead. Let's just take the best player on our board. It's KT. I know offensive line, huge need. It's huge. But so is pass rush. No one's really getting to the passer there in New York, at least for the Giants. So we grab a KT. But real quick, I want to shout out a sponsor of this channel, Team Jerseys Pro. Team Jersey Pros? Team Jerseys Pro. Oh, just doesn't roll off the tongue yet. But listen, they make custom-made jerseys, shirts, hoodies, hats, you name it. You could do basketball, football, baseball. I got a baseball jersey. I love it. You could use promo code Broshmo, all caps, gets you 10% off an order there. The jerseys start at about $30, and depending on what you do to it, it could go anywhere from $30 to $60. Still cheaper than getting an NFL jersey. Just saying. Go out, get a custom-made jersey. Carolina Panthers, let's see if you love this. Malik Willis. Listen, Malik Willis, everyone was loving what they saw in terms of the arm talent. I know a lot of people, this is a bit divisive when it comes to Malik Willis. Oh, he can't read the field. He can't go through his progressions. You know, a lot of people were saying that about Lamar Jackson. And for some people, I guess the Burks still offer Lamar Jackson, but you can't deny that he's probably one of the biggest playmakers in the NFL, one of the hardest guys to game plan against for some teams. Malik Willis has that same rushing upside, though in a different type of style. This dude had 90 forced missed tackles, which was second in the nation. Only guy that beat him was Kenneth Walker. What? I know. Wow. Listen, if you're the Panthers, I don't think you're going to find a trade down for this pick unless you do have maybe KT or someone fall. And you're kind of hoping that's a draft day type pick. I think this pick gets used on a quarterback, whether it's through via trade or you take one here. With Matt Rule, that seat, it's kind of hot. You're going to have to make a move some sort of way. So I went ahead and made that move. Which means New York Giants, we got to address the offensive line. I know some people would love Tyler Linderbaum here. I went with Charles Cross, tackle. It's just it's a better positional value. Charles Cross, to me, is a top 10 player in this draft. So they go ahead, they grab him. They come out with Cross and KT. The Atlanta Falcons, I was playing with the idea of pass rush before. And then I kind of like, you know what? This is a very deep edge rushing class. So maybe we can address that in the second round if you're the Falcons. So let's go ahead and let's just maybe grab one of the best players on our board. And it's like you look at your other positional needs. You got corner, you got receiver. Well, my corners are higher on the board than my receivers. So I went with Ahmad Garner. You might be like, what? No Derek Stingley? Well, maybe people are really worried about the ankle. Maybe people are worried that his production hasn't been great the last 2 years. Ahmad Garner, his has been fantastic. Hasn't allowed a touchdown the past 3 seasons. Actually, that's through his whole career. He's been that good. Get another shutdown corner across from AJ Terrell. DMPs, this dude loves to blitz. This will allow him to go into those cover 0 blitzes, cover 1 and such. Denver Broncos, okay, let's say maybe they don't get Aaron Rodgers. I still think they're going to end up with a quarterback via trade. So maybe it's like a Jimmy Garoppolo. Hey, Carson Wentz. Apparently he's on the trade market. I know you don't like to hear that, but apparently. I'm just putting it out there. So let's say Denver somehow retains this pick, gets a quarterback. Where do they go from here? Well, a lot of people are really high on Devin Lloyd and the Broncos. They got a lot of free agents there at the linebacker position. And Kenny Young, Josie Jewell, and Alexander Johnson. So Devin Lloyd, great length, phenomenal pass rusher, phenomenal tackler, good short area quickness, guy that could get out to the flats quick and make a play. He showed that he can be a nuisance in coverage. So grabbing him here. New York Jets. This is actually one of my favorite picks, if I don't mind to say so myself. I kind of played with this. I talked about it last week. The New York Jets. Receiver, man. They would love to add more receiving help. But LaFleur, man, he's like, man, if only I had a Deebo Samuel. If only there was maybe a Deebo Samuel in this draft. Well, you know who's been getting comped to Deebo Samuel? Treylon Burks, dude. I know everybody's like, what the hell? First receiver off the board, making it in the top 10. I know, it's wild. It's crazy, but that's what I'm doing with this mock. I want to explore realms of possibility. Burks, if he tests out well, he kind of is a good fit for LaFleur and this Jets offense. So We went with the pick there. Like I said, we're doing things different. We're exploring different possibilities. Though with Washington, it really seems like they can only do one thing here and go quarterback, or at least make a move on a quarterback. The question is, for this team, for a defense that feels like they're ready to compete now, an offense that has some weapons, it has, I think, a pretty solid offensive line, really just need good quarterback play. So who would be a pro-style quarterback or a pro-ready quarterback in this class, especially if surrounded by talent? And I know y'all are like, yo, it's Sam House. Broshmo loves Sam Howell. And yes, I do. But what if the NFL doesn't? I know a lot of evaluators, a lot of analysts love Desmond Ridder, and you'd be like, what? I know I'm not the biggest Desmond Ridder lover, but I want to explore different possibilities, different scenarios. Desmond Ridder going here at 11. I really do think he ends up drafted in the first round. I think the NFL is just going to really like him. He probably looked really good on day 3 of the Senior Bowl, looked good in the game. And you really couldn't say that about, at least in terms of both passing and running the football, you really couldn't say that about Malik Willis. You loved the potential arm talent with Willis, but Ridder was a lot more, I don't want to say accurate, he was making a lot more throws. Minnesota Vikings, I always end up going in this area. Listen, they have one of the worst cornerback rooms in all of football. Derek Stingley's here. It was kind of a no-brainer for me. Derek Stingley, great value. It's a great way to start off, start the new tenure of coach going Derek Stingley. Especially the dude's got elite traits, great athlete. You know he can be a ball hawk, so grabbing him here. Browns, I just can't see him going any other way, and it means they're probably not going to go this way. I can't get away from it. But Garrett Wilson being here just seems too good, especially with Baker on his 5th-year option right now. They're going into this next season. You really want to give him no excuses. Go out, surround him with more weapons. Find out if you have a franchise quarterback. Landry sounds like he's going to be moved or released, so not on the roster in some manner. So going with Garrett Wilson, one of the most complete receivers in this class. Baltimore Ravens, this is the one I did last week as well. I went with David Ojabo. Again, connecting dots that might not even necessarily need connected. They got the Michigan, DC now, DC for the Ravens. Ojabo used to play with Owe in high school, so just grabbing more pass rush. You're going to get your cornerbacks coming back healthy. And even better, you're going to get guys that can get after the quarterback. Man, can you imagine that? Owe on one side, Ojabo on the other. And you already got you got pretty good cornerbacks there. I like it. All right, we got 2 picks for the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, I kind of wanted to test this a little bit. And I went with the first pick, Tyler Linderbaum. I just virtually can't see him falling past this pick. I can't see him falling out of the top 15. I'd be willing to take him to the top 10. He is a top 10 prospect for me. And him being here is just such great value. Even if, for me, the Philadelphia Eagles, I think they have a very solid offensive line, that they actually have better depth than most teams in the league. They don't necessarily need to go here, but he is kind of the best player available. And then I went with Trent McDuffie. I think he's a great fit for Gannon's defense. He's probably going to end up being my cornerback 3. People might not like the height. Maybe the length doesn't come in ideal. That's yet to be seen. But you know this dude's a tremendous athlete. He has 3 years of just shutdown play there at Washington. Los Angeles Chargers. You got to improve that run defense, right? But not in the way you think. I can't let this guy fall any further. I'm going with Nakobe Dean. This guy just made plays every game this year. Like, this dude was playing with his hair on fire. He's wonderful in coverage. He's probably going to test out as the most athletic linebacker in this class. Size be darned. I'm going with Nakobe Dean. New Orleans Saints. You might be like, well, quarterback makes a ton of sense here. especially with their cap situation, getting a guy on a rookie deal, just makes all the sense in the world. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they bring back Jameis Winston on a nice, cheap 1-year prove-it deal. Well, okay, wide receiver, I mean, you got Drake London available here, Chris Olave. Like, there's some guys available here we can take. Okay, that is another option. I went another way. I went with, because again, I wanted to explore different options. I went with Kenyon Green, and I love Kenyon Green. I think he could play tackle in the NFL. I truly do. I love this dude's movement skills. Worst case scenario, though, he ends up being a fine guard, and you know what? The Saints have terrible guard play. They could use an improvement on guard regardless. Even if Armstead leaves for free agency, cool. Maybe Green could be your left tackle of the future. If he doesn't, cool. You got a guard. You need the help. Philadelphia Eagles, Jermaine Johnson. I don't see him falling out of the top 20. He's basically pro ready at this point. Pittsburgh Steelers. Maybe you get Jimmy G. Maybe not. If they don't, I feel like this pick has to be quarterback. And you're like, here it is, the Sam Howell pick. Screw you. You ain't guessing this mock draft. This mock draft is nuts. This one's crazy. Like I said, this one's going to be a bit more spicy. Again, it's not necessarily things that I would do, but things that I think can happen. So I went with the hometown boy, Kenny Pickett. I thought he probably had one of the worst Senior Bowl of any of the quarterbacks there. I do believe that. I thought when you put an NFL-sized ball in his hands, the ball came out wobbly, and you might be like, well, it was raining. No, day 3 when they were covered up inside, it wasn't looking any better. I do worry about the hand size. I really do. It's a concern. It's a concern every NFL team will have. But his tape was really good. You saw this guy. This guy wasn't afraid to sling it in the middle of the field, and you really can't say that about any of the other quarterbacks outside of maybe Carson Strong in this class. Even Carson Strong to some extent. Like, Kenny Pickett reads the middle of the field very well, which is something you really, when you got a rookie quarterback, you're typically targeting the sidelines because you're afraid they're maybe gonna miss that safety over top or that linebacker underneath, because they just don't see those guys. They don't really see those guys in college football. You're working with a lot more space because typically you got a lot better playmakers. Kenny Pickett, I thought, did that extremely well. You might worry about the arm strength. You might worry about the hands. But I think he's a guy that could come in and efficiently run this offense with huge playmakers such as Najee Harris. I keep saying Najee. I can't help it. Najee just sounds cool. Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson. You got Chase Claypool. You got a ton of playmakers there. Pat Freiermuth. So you wouldn't be asking a lot from them. New England Patriots. I like receiver. I like corner, which means, and I've done that in the past, which means I'm not doing that. My dogs are playing. Don't mind them. So I'm not going to do either of those options. Instead, I'm going to be taking a fallen George Karlaftis. I really think that if he's available here, why not go and grab him? You got Wise right there, currently filling out that other edge role, 5-tech role. Karlaftis can do that. He might not have great length. He might not be the most bendy edge in this class, but he brings power. He brings explosiveness. I anticipate him to test out well in the explosion drills at the combine. So get another pass rusher there with Matt Judon. And then you already got Christian Barmore in the middle. You got some nice pass rush. And that would help if you don't end up re-signing J.C. Jackson for some reason. So, bam. Corner's best friend is pass rush. And then Las Vegas Raiders. I love going receiver here. I just think it makes a lot of sense just to get more playmakers. I also like the idea of corner. Some people like the idea of Jordan Davis here. It's not a sexy pick. So I was like, you know what? Let's look at other options. Who was a hot riser to the Senior Bowl? Zion Johnson. Grab this cat. Come in. Bam. Immediately, your left guard or center. Probably left guard. I'd rather have a left guard since he was kind of learning center on the fly. help that offensive line be better for Derek Carr. You got Josh McDaniels coming in, a guy that really, really likes to, make the situations for his quarterback easy, which means he likes to run the football. He likes to use play action quite a bit, and he runs a bit of that horizontal West Coast offense. So we went with Zion Johnson here. The Cardinals, oh no, Kyler Murray wants a lot of money. He's not happy. He feels like he's being a scapegoat. What are the Cardinals going to do? How are they going to, if they don't, I don't think they're going to trade Murray. Well, maybe if we get him another weapon, we are a team that also runs 4 wide receiver sets more than any other team in football. So let's get Chris Olave. We need a guy that can win deep, that can really win at all levels of the field. Everyone forgets how good of a route runner Chris Olave is. Separation is this man's game. You're going to be losing Christian Kirk. So grabbing Olave to pair up with D-Hop and Rondale Moore. Maybe Kyler be like, you know what? Let's let bygones be bygones. And the Dallas Cowboys, I just can't. I feel like Jordan Davis, someone's going to jump on Jordan Davis. If he makes it here, I feel like it could be the Dallas Cowboys. Getting Meteor in the middle, I think, is real nice. I think Carlos Watkins was the guy that took the most snaps at the A-gap / nose tackle position. So grabbing Jordan Davis to kind of man up that, it's a bit of an upgrade. Buffalo Bills. I really like the idea of corner here. I'm sorry, Bills. But you know what? Maybe we don't go with that here. Well, there's no interior player to take on the board here. So what are we going to do? Well, I don't know. Cole Beasley's getting older. He's like 33, 34. Emmanuel Sanders, he's up there in years. I think he's a free agent anyway. How about we grab a receiver for Josh Allen? Drake London, Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, both guys that can play inside the slot. Drake London, a guy who can play in the slot. This dude was insane. Great catch radius. He led all of college football in contested catches, and he did that in 8 games. He's an underrated route runner. And what he does after the catch, ooh. So we get it spicy here. Tennessee Titans. I played with the idea of taking Sam Howell here. I don't know. Mike Vrabel came out and said, no, Tannehill's our guy. So, okay, let's play like Tannehill's the guy. So what are other options? Maybe linebacker. They got a few free agents there. Harold Landry's be a free agent. Maybe go edge. I don't know. Maybe offensive line, making sure that you got a lot of players. You got players there, especially with health was kind of a concern this year with Taylor Lewan. So you're going to be losing Ben Jones potentially. So just making sure you still have a very good offensive line for Derrick Henry, who is kind of your offense. So I went with Trevor Penning because he is the NFL's going to love this guy's mentality. Whether it's going to be one that draws as many flags as he commits. But they're going to love his mentality. While I don't necessarily think he might be, ready to start out the gate, I think you're kind of good right now at both tackle positions for now. And maybe eventually he can replace maybe like a Taylor Lewan who his play hasn't been, I don't want to say bad. It's not been bad. It just hasn't been up to that standard we were used to with Lewan in a few years. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're not going quarterback. Let's say Kyle Trask is the future, or they figure it out via trade or something. I don't know. Maybe they bring back Jameis Winston. Who knows? Receiver, I always I think guys like Jahan Dotson and Jameson Williams are really cool picks here. But let's look elsewhere. Corners, another one I like too. But let's say, okay, Sue, free agent, probably not coming back to the squad. Let's go with Devontae Wyatt, another guy that really helped his stock there at the Senior Bowl, come in and immediately actually fill in Sue's role, and I think do it at a high level. Green Bay Packers. Like I said, guys, this is a spicy mock. Receiver? They never draft receiver. Who you kidding, Packers fans? We could go edge. They're likely going to lose the Smith bros. I know, no blood relation, but they both have the last name Smith. So they're Smith brothers. Potentially, maybe. I'm not going there. More offensive line help. That would be great. Nah, nonsense. They're losing Campbell. Campbell put out a Pro Bowl year, but let's keep it real. This guy was a journeyman before coming to Green Bay and having this crazy season. He's probably going to ask for a lot of money. Are you really going to bank on a potential one-year wonder? I don't think so. So I went with the linebacker position. That's right, because we're not seeing many linebackers in these first-round mocks outside of Dean and Lloyd. I went with Leo Chenal out of Wisconsin. Coverage might be a thing, but you know what? That wasn't Campbell's strong suit either, and the Packers did a good job of scheming him well and not making him a liability in coverage. They could do the same thing with Chenal, who is extremely powerful. He's going to be a phenomenal blitzer, phenomenal run stuffer. Like, this guy can bodyguards. Like, he's got a lot of explosiveness for a man at 260 playing the linebacker position. So I think he could be a guy that can maybe sneak into the first round. He's not even my linebacker 3, but I thought he'd probably be a better fit than who my linebacker 3 is. And then the Miami Dolphins, I've been like, yo, get these guys, get 2 or more weapons. I'm hoping and praying that they go with offensive line and free agency. So let's go ahead and say they don't go receiver because they don't do things that I want them to do. Let's say they go ahead, take care of free offensive line during free agency. What are some other areas? Well, Emmanuel Ogbah, he's a free agent. Hasn't been re-signed yet. So might need a replacement for him. Who could be that guy? A guy that I think no one I don't think a lot of people are talking about sneaking into the first round, but I think more people should. And I went with Myjah Sanders from Cincinnati. Myjah Sanders is a phenomenal run stuffer, but he has got explosiveness and length to be a very, very intriguing pass rushing option. I mean, the pressures don't lie. This guy does get pressure, and at Cincinnati, he was often asked to play like over the tackle or sometimes inside the tackle. Granted, this year they kind of let him go on the outside more as like a outside the 5 tech, which is nice to see. But still, you know that this guy's range is anywhere from like 4 tech to like 7 tech. So sign me up for Myjah Sanders. Kansas City Chiefs. Almost forgot about the Chiefs. Woof. I really feel like, I know some people will be like, oh, Jameson Williams, yes, please. No, we're not doing that. Sorry. They have to go defense. They have significant free agents there in the secondary. They also, Melvin Ingram, they need to bring him back, but even then, you got a streaky pass rusher that you're overpaying, or Frank Clark. I think pass rush would be a good option here. But let's say that they do go with maybe the corner position, because they do have free agents there. So I went with Andrew Booth Jr., a guy that really ended the year real hot. I think he had like 3 picks, 3 pass breakups in his last 4 games. He's going to test out well at the combine. I think it's going to kind of cement him as a first rounder. Cincinnati Bengals. There's no one I want to take here on the interior here. Sorry, Bengals. You could think Bernhard Ryman. That's a guy that I've kind of mocked here a few times if Zion Johnson was available. Again, I want to do things different in this mock. Corner, I think, is definitely another position that they can address, especially after Eli Apple allowed the game-winning touchdown for the Rams. And plus, Eli Apple, you're really going to bank that after moving around throughout his whole career that, oh, yeah, no, he's good now. He's not bad, but I don't think there's anything wrong with getting more depth. This is a guy that I think could sneak in the first round. Normally, I'd be like, oh, Kyrie Elam, dude, big fan. I want to highlight Kyler Gordon out of Washington, because this guy's got great size. He was thrown to a lot because, well, he was playing opposite of Trent McDuffie, and they ain't going to throw Trent McDuffie's way. Kyler Gordon, he's like 6'3", 200 pounds. great length, good athlete, showcased some ball skills. He would actually be a really good scheme fit as well for the Bengals. And then to end it off, cherry on top. I got the Detroit Lions a vertical threat and Jameson Williams. Yeah, I got lazy. It was the last pick. I'm sorry. Jameson Williams, I just don't see this dude falling out of the first round. ACL, be darned. Like, okay, he's going to miss, what, a month? Maybe a month and a half, 2 months with that ACL injury? Nah, it's going to be fine. This guy is speedy, crazy stop-start ability is just rare. He's going to be a problem in the NFL. So this is the first round. I know it's going to... there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to like this. But it is what it is. It's not necessarily what I would do. Again, it's things that I think can happen. That was the point of this mock. If you're going to argue, oh, this was a terrible pick, it's like, I might agree with you. You're going to be like, oh, this sucked. It's like, okay, we're talking about different possibilities. Does your team draft the way you want them to all the time? I'm a Dolphins fan. They don't. So if you come at me with that nonsense, I'm going to point you to the end of the video where I talk about this. And I'm going to give you a nice, hearty, I don't care. But if you want to have constructive discussions, good, beautiful, sensual football discourse, I'm more than happy to do that with you in the comment section below. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.